Hello, hello, Taurus. So, remember earlier, well, maybe you don't remember, but I said in the monthlies that I was going to do a reading kind of focused on where are you fucked up or where are you stuck. So, this is going to be the reading. This reading is kind of show you places that maybe there's some things that need to be dealt with, some things that need to be healed so you can move forward. Some of it may trigger you. So if you're in a vulnerable state and you really don't feel like dealing with it, you don't have any intention of dealing with it, then I wouldn't even look at the video. If you are in a place where you want to heal, you're trying to move forward, and you feel like you're ready to start making or putting some type of action towards your healing, then definitely check it out. The disclaimer is if you feel like you can't handle it, you don't want to hear it, then it won't resonate. Doesn't have to click with you. You don't have to do anything right now. All right. So we're going to go into maybe what could be causing obstacles in your life, what could be causing issues from you moving forward or being more productive in your life. We're going to be using the Oshu Zen Tarot, and we're going to be using the Tough Shit Tarot. So let me go ahead and move this down. I know I had a few people that said, I want to see you shuffle the cards and lay them out. So we're going to go ahead and do that. I got to get more creative and more technology savvy. Get me like two cameras and hook this stuff up picture in picture, but that'll come in time. So Taurus, what could be Taurus's obstacle? What could be holding them back? Let's see. What's keeping them stuck, Spirit? Taurus, Taurus, Taurus. Some of you definitely may be too much in your head. You could be overthinking the situation, spending way too much time trying to make things make sense. And that could be you being an earth sign and being really logical about what's going on with you. But for some of you, it could be overkill, Taurus. Let's see. Some of you, I feel like you could be very creative, but maybe you're afraid to put yourself out there or get in touch with your creative side. You could be holding yourself back. Maybe there's a need to get more in touch with your child or your childlike energy. Taurus, Taurus, Taurus. All right, so let's see. So we have possibilities. We have courage. We have clinging to the past. We have thunderbolt. We have patience. We have new vision. We have letting go. We have the dream. We have innocence. And then we have awareness. So let's see. Tough Shit Tarot. For Taurus Spirit, what is holding Taurus back? What are they dealing with? For my Taurians, what are they dealing with? Taurus, Taurus, Taurus. All right, let's see what we have. We have tuck and roll. You're in a messy situation right now. We have a little bit of gratitude. We have being ready for love, but not willing or scared of it. We have being caught in an issue of blame and self-victimization. We have father issues. We have tantrum tantrums that are dealing with outdated childhood issues. And then we have friendships that are no longer conducive for your growth. All right, so let's get into it, Taurus. Let's move you on up to the east side. Where you going? Check them out. Oh, okay. So, Taurus, the first thing I see about you is that a lot of you are surrounded right now with a lot of possibilities. This is somebody who wants to soar. They want to be free. They're looking for new excitement or new things in their life to grow. So this is where you could be right now. You could feel like, look, I want to take advantage of these opportunities. I want to explore. I want to experience new things. And a lot of you may have been dealing with a lack of courage. It's like you have things that are opening up for you, but maybe you've been a little bit afraid to take advantage of it. If you look at this picture, this is a flower that is growing in cement. So some of you may have actually felt like you were in a position where you couldn't grow, but we're looking at something where you're either coming to the conclusion that, yeah, I can make things happen. I have these possibilities around me. I can make them happen. But for some of you, there's issues from the past that are holding you back. For some of you, this could have been issues with your father because it's saying that you're playing out the energy of your father. You could have had an issue where you didn't feel like you were getting everything from your father. Some of you may not have had a good relationship with your dad. Some of you may not even have had the opportunity to have a father in your life. It is showing that for some of you, this relationship or lack of relationship caused some type of hole or pain within you. Now, for some of you, it is showing that you could be using a behavior. If you were raised in a single parent household, you could be using a behavior to manipulate the other parent, whether this is you manipulating them or them manipulating you. I feel for some of you, there's just this energy where there's miscommunication or there's a lot of manipulation that's going in, whether this is with a father figure or this is with a mother, because there was a lack of a father in the household. For some of you, there's definitely some issues where you could be afraid of behaving like your father. Some of you may not have agreed with the way a man in your life dealt with situations or handled situations. You may have saw something in your past where you lost respect for this person and you don't want to see it clear. This person is still holding the box over their head. So for some of you, this could have been abuse. This could have been some type of behavior that you just at a time as a child could not process. And some of you still as adults may have a hard time processing this. Thunderbolt moment means that this could have been traumatic for some of you. Some of you may have been caught up in a situation with a father or a father figure that has left scars, emotional scars that you're still trying to deal with. And for some of you, you're trying to figure out how to move through that. For some of you, it could even affect your relationship with people in your life, whether this is with men or women. Some of you may be having a hard time connecting or loving completely because maybe you're a little bit confused about what love is, or to you, love could be painful. There definitely is some issue, and for some of you this definitely could be molestation, and I'm so sorry. I don't intend to trigger anyone, but the message is there, so I'm just gonna have to go ahead and talk about it. And I pray for you. I'm so sorry if you went through this. Some of you may have gone through a situation where there was an abuse situation with a male in your family, somebody that maybe you even considered was a father figure, and it could be causing some type of issue when it comes to the way you relate to people, especially on a sexual level. Could make you hypersexual or make you not gravitate towards sex, period. For some of you, you could be dealing with relationships that you're ready for a love connection, but you're tending to attract people who just want sex, or either you're attracting people who really want to be in a love relationship with you, but you just want to give sex because maybe to you, that is your way of showing love, because maybe that was the way it was shown to you. Not for everybody, could be for a small number of people, but there is some type of blame. I feel like some of you may have a family member that when you get around them, whether this is your father, mother, or somebody that you were close to, that you tend to move back into victim mentality with this person. There is this disconnect from this person, but some of you may know how to manipulate them, or either they know how to manipulate you. And you may not want to come out of that. Some of you may be choosing, sorry, you guys, to cling to the past. I wrote on the top of this card, a lot of times when I get cards, the book meaning doesn't connect to me. So I write what I feel like the card is trying to say. And on the top, I put the past is gone. And I feel for a lot of you that you've moved on from it, but there's an aspect where you still don't want to see certain things or have to address certain things. And this person could be no longer here. They could have transitioned, and maybe you didn't get a chance to correct the situation or make peace with it. From some of you, I feel like your parent is alive and you have no relationship with them. You're not able to fix this. Thunderbolt moment is showing that something happened where you decided, I don't want to see anymore. I don't want to feel anymore. I don't want to connect with this person on an emotional level. I'm shutting down. Whatever I thought that was right, I feel like it's not. And some of you keep going back to this. I feel like relationships could trigger this for you, for some. It could be romantic, sexual type of relationships. And it's like, what is love? How do I give this when I don't even know? I'm not sure what it is. I also feel for some of you, you got to be careful that you're not connecting to people that have that same type of energy. Some of you may find yourself either giving one-sided relationships where you're the taker and you're not trying to give anything more. You're not trying to move it along. And then for some of you, you could be attracting one-sided relationships or friendships where you're doing everything and you feel like you're not getting anything back out of it. There's an imbalance when it comes to how you're connecting to people or how people are connecting to you. Some of you know that you're dealing with toxic situations, but there's an excitement. There could be an excitement. Some of you may even be feeling like, I need this. I need this energy. Or I need this vibration in my life right now because it justifies this self-blame and this victimization. Some of you, and not everyone, I feel like you're punishing yourself. You could be using relationships or sex to punish yourself. I do feel like there's an issue with having to let go of things that are toxic, that are not conducive for your growth, and they have to deal with childhood, going back to childhood. You could have gone through really bad relationships, you know, in the past few years, but the damage for a lot of you was done when you were children. There was a connection that was supposed to be made, and it might not have been the healthiest connection. And for some of you, you keep going back to that something triggers you, or you keep going back to this because you find some type of comfort into it, and you're coming to the realization that it's not moving you forward, it's not serving you. It's making it hard for you to connect with certain people in your life. This could be within your work environment, your friendships, or your romantic relationships. There's just things about having self-doubt and living up to other people's expectations, but not feeling like you are. I keep getting like a little child that needs to be like pat on their head. If you look at this card, this man is giving love to somebody, and this other daughter or child is looking like, that should be me. Why aren't you loving me the same way? Or why don't I have this? Some of you could literally be caught up. If this is an aspect of yourself, the card is the dream. Some of you may be longing for a connection like this, but you don't know how to get it. You don't know how to get it. I feel like there's a lot of judgment. Some could be using some type of substance, alcohol, drugs, self-addiction to deal with this. But it's showing for some of you, there's a pressure of living up to expectations. Either your expectations or what society's putting out there, or even maybe what somebody told you that you could have. It's almost like you're looking at it, but you don't think it's attainable. So there's some doubt. Some of you may really be questioning, am I good enough for this job? Am I good enough for this relationship? Do I have what it takes to make this work? Some of you, I get the feeling that it's almost like every time something goes right, you're waiting for this thunderbolt, for everything to fall apart, because maybe that's the way the energy has been. There's this patience of knowing that something is coming, that you want something and you're capable, giving birth to something that is of harmony for you, something that balances you. But it's showing that you either need to be patient with the situation or patient with yourself. You might be too hard on yourself, Taurus. It is showing spiritual growth, looking at something completely different. So some of you are going through a spiritual growth, but you may be getting to this thunderbolt moment before you get to this awareness where you're seeing things clearly. It's like this person is either ripping this facade off so that they can reemerge, but they're seeing things clearly. They're taking the film off their eyes, the blinders off their eyes, and it's showing a reborn, but back into innocence. So maybe some of you feel somebody took away your innocence. Maybe you had to grow up too quick. And some of you are pushing yourselves to be bigger, stronger. You know, fake it till you make it. Get your courage up. But some of you are struggling with this because you're clinging to something in the past that may have been very traumatic for you. And for some of you, you want this innocence back. You want to see things with or see people with clearer eyes. I feel for some of you may be having this woe is me type of complex, but that could go back to the victimization and the blame. Not saying that this didn't happen, because for a lot of you, this happened. This thunderbolt moment happened. But for some people, they found comfort in this, and they've lived their life where it's like, okay, you know, if I tell people this, then they feel, I don't want to say bad, because I don't feel like you want the pity. You want the acknowledgement that this happened. Something happened to me. And this is why I am the way I am. This is why I struggle. You want people to meet you in this place where they're looking at you as an innocent, or you're hoping to connect with somebody that makes you feel reborn, makes you see yourself as innocent, cutting away the facade. If you look at this is a grown person behind, but it looks like a child is emerging. So for some of you, your inner child may be damaged, but you're trying to set it free. You're trying to heal it. You're trying to set it free. And it's taking courage. It's taking courage. Maybe you don't feel like you're in a place to do this, but it is showing spiritual growth is coming in. So you have spirit that is helping you, that is trying to teach you. Let's see. For some of you, there definitely is this thing of trying to make something fit that may not fit anymore. Maybe it is this dream. Maybe there's something that you're trying to force. It could be the fairy tale where the prince or the princess or whoever comes is supposed to rescue people, and they may not be coming. And for some of you, it's like you're completing a cycle, and you're having to look at yourself a little bit differently. It's like you're trying to put yourself back together, but it could be different. Making space for something new. Cutting away something that is not really doing you any service. For some of you, the outsider card is showing somebody who feels like they can't fit in or they're not fitting in. There's a whole world out there, but they don't know how to get there. This is a child. But we keep coming back to this child trying to walk out. This child trying to emerge into something, but feeling blocked. So I feel like for a lot of you, you're going to be doing some inner child work. You need to do some inner child work because it's showing a rebirth, an innocence. Maybe feeling like you had to grow up too quick. Traumatic experiences, having a hard time letting go of the past, but knowing you need to so that you can set this child free. Stop feeling like the insider. So there's some growth that's coming in. It's not going to be easy because I feel for some of you, with this person holding this over their head, they don't want to see it. They don't want to deal with it. Clinging to the past. I know I need to let go of it, but I don't want to. I'm not ready to, because it was a thunderbolt moment. Some of you may need therapy. You may need a mediator to help you walk through this. Some of you just want to connect back with that innocence when life was simpler for you, but you're having a hard time doing it. I get loneliness, depression, disconnection. So some of you are feeling like the outsider. And it could be because you're holding on to something that you don't feel like people will accept. They're not going to look at me the same if they knew I went through this. They're not going to treat me the same if they knew I went through this. And then on the flip side, you have some that are telling people this. I went through this. And it's because it's giving you some type of validation to be upset at this person who put you through this. Like, oh, they did this to you? They're fucked up. Something's fucked up with them. And you're like, yes, yes. Yes, connect me with my innocence. Let me know that that wasn't my fault, that it had to do with this other person. Some of you are struggling though with this, and you're having a hard time letting this go. This is showing that this is somebody who is sometimes depressed to the point where they can't face people. They don't want to because of this thunderbolt moment. This feeling of being like an outsider. You're not going to see me. You don't understand. You're not going to help me get out. But with this, completion is showing that you want to. It's like, I want to put things back together. I want to be complete. I want to be whole. Some of you don't want to be defined by this thunderbolt moment anymore. It's like, I don't want to, I'm not that person. I'm not that situation. I'm not that what happened to me. For some of you, it looks like you need to clean up. And this could be within your family, your friends, people that if this person is still within your life, some of you may have to cut away from this person. Because you just, it's keeping you stuck. It's reminding you of something that you don't want to be reminded of. If this person has passed on, some of you may have family members that you look at them and it reminds you of something that took away your innocence. Makes it harder for you to see yourself differently. Feeling judged by people. Oh, you know, that thing that happened, that was your fault. Oh, you know what situation you went through, you put yourself in that. But for some of you, you were a kid, you were a child, and that's where you froze. You're struggling to be an adult, but you still have a mentality. You left something behind. This child is still trapped, still trying to heal. So there definitely is an opening, and Spirit is guiding you. It's showing you to be more courageous. It's trying to take you and show you the possibilities that are coming into your life now. But for some of you, you literally are going to have to face this thunderbolt. This is what happened. It wasn't right. It was fucked up. I didn't agree to this. I need to go ahead and let this go. I got to let this go to move forward. It's affecting my relationships. It's affecting my jobs. It's affecting the way I connect to people. Definitely is not easy because it's showing that you want stronger connections, deeper connections, but you're not sure how to get them because trust was broke. So you may even have a hard time trusting people. I can't trust you. Every time I trust somebody, this happens. The Spirit is saying, be courageous. Be courageous. Let's put the pieces back together, but let's put them back differently. Let's have this rebirth where you are reclaiming your innocence and you're starting over new beginnings. Being able to live your life fully without having this past keep coming up and making you feel like a victim, or making you feel like you don't have what it takes, or making you feel like people are looking at you as a victim. There's issues with feeling embarrassed, not wanting to be embarrassed in front of people, not wanting to be called out in front of people. Some of you could even be dealing with a certain shyness to you. It's like, don't look at me, but look at me. Don't look at me. Love me, but don't love me. Love me, but don't love me. Work with me, but don't. There's this thing where it's just like, okay, where do I fit into this? I see the possibilities. I have a dream. I have an idea. But I don't feel like I can get there. But Spirit is showing you can. For some of you, this could be therapy. For some of you, this could be dealing with some past life regression, childhood, inner child work, being patient with yourself, not expecting this to be fixed in one day, one night, 1 year. The thunderbolt is something that could go deep for a lot of you, Taurus. For a lot of you. Some of you are pushing on like it never happened, and then some of you are literally, you're reminded, and it's become a part of you. It's become a part of your identity, and it's keeping you from moving forward. But it is showing spirit growth, spirit connection, new vision, something that's moving you towards letting this go. So, Taurus, whew, that was deep. And I could go on and on, but I don't. I feel like we got the energy of it. And if you've gone through something like that, I'm so sorry. My prayers to you. It's deep, but it is showing spirit is coming through to connect you. New awareness, new vision, being courageous, wanting to push yourself out there, getting rid of some things that are holding you back and not defining yourself by something traumatic that happened, but using that and saying, you know what, I'm stronger than that and I'm going to move forward. That plant is growing through cement. Where is it? Final card. It's growing through cement or a rock or whatever. It's like something that should have been impossible, but it's not stopping you. And it's taking courage. And you have it. You're making this happen. So Taurus, I love you guys. I really do.